Howdy, y'all. How's it going? It's me, Amanda Gold, and I'm really happy and excited to be here today. I've been coaching all day and it feels amazing. And if you want a piece of that action, coaching with me, it's super great. I enjoy the hell out of it, and I think you would too. If you're curious, you can book a discovery call with me, and it's free, and I can give you some stuff that you can start using right away. It's like a totally no pressure, like, let's see if we're a fit. But if you've been looking for someone to help you out, get some coaching around stuff in your life, you can email me and we can work that out. So I'm at amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. I mostly work with sober women who want to add more joy to their recovery program through creativity and things like that. I'm also an artist, and I want to introduce you to one of my ladies. That lady back there. I think this is her first appearance in one of these videos. I decided to let her live there for a moment. She was hanging at an art show that got kind of shut down due to the COVID. But it's nice having her back. She was a real person. That's a portrait. And I believe her name was Maud. I used to think it was Lydia, and I think that's because there was a song based off of her called Lydia. But further research led me to the truth as I understand it now, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I think her name was Maud, and I believe she was one of the first female tattoo artists. And she is quite the badass, and I love having her portrait around me, kicking my ass to do hard things and to be brave and just do awesome stuff. So if you're interested in art like that too, and she is for sale, although I hesitate to say that because I really love her here. But I have other stuff like that, and I love doing custom work. So if you're interested, in that, shoot me an email, amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. Also, I've been playing with the idea. I've been doing some videos for other communities for creativity prompts and stuff connected to recovery, and using art to think of concepts and ways to incorporate art making into our life on a more consistent basis. And so if you have any interest in like learning how to do something like that, definitely shoot me an email about that too, because I'm also starting another art class, and I'm just definitely open to what people need, what they want, what they're interested in. So feel free to share your opinion on all things art related or coaching related, or just what's on your precious mind today. Okay, so today is your weekly TIT. TIT stands for Try It Tuesday. And really, this could be a Thursday thought, because part of my Thursday thoughts are an issue that I have and how I coach myself around it. And that's what this is. But it worked so well, and it was so good. I mean, all this self-coaching and the coaching that I teach works wonderfully, or else I wouldn't fuck with it. But I just want to share it. It's so good. But this one was so good and just worked so beautifully and so quickly that I was like, that's it. Like, that's my challenge for people. So Try It Tuesdays are about me coming to you with a tangible or practical, not so much tangible, but like an action that you can take, that I challenge you to take for this week, from this Tuesday to the next. And it's meant to improve your life somehow, or change your mind, or shift your perspective, or make things better overall. It's something you can practice. And so today's is about deciding ahead of time how you want to feel. And this was huge because where I used it was, I've been going on weekly hikes with my feller. Hikes, did I say? I feel like I said heights. We are going high into the mountains, so it is new heights, but they are called hikes. And I can be one of those crunchy, crusty sort of introverts that is like, oh, this would be so great if it wasn't for all the people. And this is a thought that I've really worked on. Like, I love y'all. I love helping people. I love sharing coaching. I love my clients. I love working with folks. I love humanity, I think. But sometimes I have a struggle with the humans, like these people that I've decided are others, that are just like mouth breathing, cluttering up the roads, driving like shit, getting in my way. This is just my thoughts, right? But I had it in my mind, because of my thoughts, that it was a circumstance. Like, people are a pain in the ass. And I was saying that in my mind for years, like it was a fact. And my brain provided me with plenty of evidence that it was a fact. Like, look at this shithead. Look at this asshole. Look at the news. Look at this guy in front of me. Like, ugh, I hate it. And Yeah, but that's still just thoughts. And so we've been going on these hikes and it's super crowded often. And I was just like miserable on this hike. And I could tell, I'm sure I wasn't great company for my boyfriend either, even though he's like so amazing and patient and kind. But you know, who wants to be on a hike with someone who's just like, this guy, or like, that lady was in my way. I just had such a bad attitude. Even when I was trying not to complain, you could just tell that I was like salty and grumpy and really just thinking like, this would be better if it wasn't for all these people. And think about how disempowering that is. Like, everybody, this is what I teach, right? Like, it's never our outside circumstances that cause our feelings, it's our thoughts about it. And when we believe that it's the external world that's causing our feelings, we're so powerless because there's just a fucking shitload of people, especially where I live. Like, I live in a city and we're really close to the mountains, and people, especially with COVID and stuff, like, they're out more, and that's just the way it is. And if I choose to be resentful of that, it's just miserable for everyone involved, right? And I think part of this has to do with me being in recovery. So maybe some of you that aren't in recovery, maybe you don't have as much of a problem with this, but I hear it a lot from my fellows in AA and from people. Like, I think we're just wired a little different anyways, and we don't feel like we belong, and we don't feel like other people get us, and we get super resentful super easy, and that's why we drank and used for many, many years, right? Or that's what we told ourselves was part of the reason why. Like, we felt some relief when we drank about it. Like, oh, suddenly I can be with all these people, and suddenly I'm not as annoyed, and suddenly I can like cope and not be so anxious and not be so socially awkward, right? We had all these excuses. So I'm curious if like maybe I'm just a little more like maladapted to the world because I'm an alcoholic and recovered drug addict. But whatever it is, like, it's still my thinking that's causing the shitty feelings. And so what I decided for this last hike was to plan ahead of time how I wanted to feel, because thoughts create feelings, create our actions, create our results. So if I decided ahead of time the feeling I wanted to feel, then I could sort of reverse engineer and pick a thought that caused that feeling. This really is like really simple brain math. And if you don't believe me, try it. That's what these Try It Tuesdays are about. It's like, fucking go try it. You don't have to believe me. Try it. And then tell me how it went, because I really want to know if it works for you too, because it will. So anyways, I decided I wanted to feel friendly. I wanted to feel at peace. I wanted to enjoy the hike no matter who else was on the trail. And so then I thought, okay, that's my resolution. Like, I kind of treated that as just a resolve too. Like, this can be really helpful. Even if I don't have the thoughts totally locked in, it really helps me to just say, like, I've resolved to feel this way about the situation today, no matter what. And it's a clue, like, if I'm starting to get uptight or pissy, I can sort of bring myself back to my commitment to stay a certain way, and then I can sort of adjust from there. There's such power in just being aware that I've deviated from that desired feeling that often corrects it right there. But mainly, it still comes down to the thoughts I'm thinking about a thing, even if I'm not fully aware of them. So once I decided the couple feelings that I really wanted to actively practice cultivating, I started that before we even left the house for the hike. So probably 2 or 3 hours before we went. And you could do this the day before. You could do it as early as you wanted. If you've got a big event coming up that you know, like, what if it's family and they just push your buttons, or maybe it's a work meeting and you know that one coworker is just going to piss you off, or your boss or whoever. You can start planning this before that thing and try this out and just feel like if you had all the feelings in the world available to you, and you do, you can choose the ones you'd like to feel. So for me, it was friendliness and just peacefulness and enjoy. I wanted it to be fun. I kept feeling like my anger at these people and feeling like they were in my way or ruining the trip or whatever. It kept it from being fun. So I chose those feelings, and then I thought, okay, what thoughts would I have to think to feel this way? Who do I have to be to feel this way? What do those people think? And sometimes this can be a stretch of the imagination. Like, I am not notoriously like, oh, I love everyone. Hello, it's nice to see you. Like I said, I can be a little grumpy, a little standoffish, a lot standoffish if you ask certain coworkers that I've had in the past. I mean, well, it's just a struggle sometimes. But I'm working on it with these tools and tricks. So if I don't personally have experience with that specific thought or feeling, I'll just imagine, like, okay, well, these people that are smiling and friendly and chatty on the trail, what do you think they're thinking about? And I think, for one, they're not thinking that much about the other people. They're focused on who they're with, or enjoyment of the trail, or focused on their body and how good it feels to move it in the sunshine in the summer, and the wildflowers and the elk and the birds, and like, it's just this lovely time. Maybe they're thinking more about that stuff. So that was one I resolved to do, was like, I'm just going to keep diverting my attention away from the people and whatever bad behavior I think they're doing or however annoying I think they are. And I'll look at the trees and I'll really actively appreciate everything about the hike, the sound of my boots crunching on the gravel, the smells, my boyfriend in front of me who I love so dearly, like all these things. Appreciating my body. Like I had a knee injury this last winter and it feels great now. And so it's been cool to feel like I'm getting stronger, I'm getting healthier, I'm pain free today. This is amazing. So gratitude, right? Like instead of instead of focusing on those people, I'm going to focus on gratitude. So that's kind of a set of thoughts, right? Like thank you for this. Yes. And then just like you can choose to think thoughts that are like, this is so fun. And another thing that helps me with people is being curious about them or setting up a situation where I'm pretending like this. What if this was my best friend coming down the trail? What if this was someone that I was really excited to see? I'm sure you can relate to that. Even if you don't generally like the humans, I'm sure there's someone that if you were just walking around and you saw them, you'd be like, oh my God, and you'd like run and give them a hug. And so I started trying to pretend like, what if everyone was that person, everyone coming down? Because this is what I really believe at my core, is that we are all God's children. Like I'm no better than, I'm no less than. We're all just people doing the best we can with what we got. And so I really want to tap into that part of me that sees that and has compassion for that and just loves people and has some humility and isn't automatically judging everyone and just trying to be another bozo on the bus, as we say in recovery. Like, I'm one of the humans. They're a human. I'm a human. Like, we're all just here together. Can I just enjoy that? So the thought was like, ooh, I'm so excited to see this person. Or I wonder what's awesome about this person. Or just even in my mind, just thinking like, hello. And it was so magical. The whole hike I felt totally transformed. I was laughing about it. Like, who am I? Who is this person? And it was funny. Like sometimes when I had those big moments of like, oh, I'm in love with the world. And like, I feel like birds are flying around my head and I'm just like, oh, like my heart is so open to humanity. Then the very next person I'd be like, oh, this bitch, So it's practice, and it felt like the universe was laughing, like, don't get too cocky. Like you still have these tendencies. But it was a completely different hike. I felt like a completely different person. And this is where it feels like magic, but it isn't. Like, it felt like the people on the trail were different people. They weren't as annoying. They were nicer. They were fun. They had, like, we talked about their dogs, or we talked about their cool tiger print shorts, or they asked us about the hiking poles. Like, it was just camaraderie. It was fun. It was just like, hey, friend, and nobody changed. Like, that experience is available to me any day. But it's the thoughts that I am thinking which influence the feelings that I'm having, which cause these like almost undetectable reactions that inform people's responses to me. So it's that idea of like, some people think this sounds woo when we say we create our own reality, or like what you resist persists, or like if you're convinced that the world is a piece of shit, you go out with that energy. And there's science behind this. It's not just energy. There is like micro facial movements that you make, or like a subtle way that you hold yourself, or a way you avert your eyes. And our brains as people can pick up on this from the other people, and we adjust accordingly. So if someone's coming down the street who thinks I hate the world and all these people are in my way, they're conveying that somehow. And the other people respond to it. And they're like, this person looks kind of mean. And then they kind of shut down. And so then that just reinforces the belief, like, see, that person wouldn't even talk to me, like this world's a piece of shit. And it just like perpetuates, and we just create our own realities. But this last hike was just such, like, I'd known this stuff and I've been practicing it and I've been teaching it, but it was just such a cool reminder of like how this stuff exactly works like this. Like, you change your thoughts, you change your feelings, and your whole fucking world changes. And I just think that's so empowering and huge. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle where you're just like, ugh, this is this way and I have to respond to it because it's this way, I would really encourage you to challenge that idea and just see, like, just pick a situation that feels like it's no fun, and then decide how you'd like to feel about it if you could feel anyway, and then decide what you would have to think to cause that feeling. And it's powerful stuff, so I'm so excited to hear how it goes. If you have any questions, or if you want to know more, definitely shoot me that email, amandagoldmakesart@gmail.com. And that's it for me today. I hope you enjoy your tit, and I will talk to you Thursday for your Thursday thoughts. And really, that's it. Awkwardly wrapping it up here. I'm just going to say bye.